Episode 4, November 9th, 2010. Howard and Kevin opened your mail. Well, here we are again. Thanks for tuning in, folks. This is Howard and Kevin Open Your Mail.
Yeah, the only podcast on the World Wide Web
In which Howard and Kevin open your mail.
Exactly.
Is that what you were going to say?
Well, not really, but that's good enough. Yes.
We don't really know that's entirely true, for
No,
sure.
I know.
There could be some other Howard and some other Kevin.
Yeah. Howard Hessman and Kevin Costner may have a podcast that they do, reading out mail from their fans every day. Do another Field of Dreams.
My name is Howard.
When is WKRP coming back?
I love how Howard Hessman is the go-to other Howard.
Well, that's the only other one I know.
Howard Hessman. I wonder what he's up to now.
I don't know.
Living in.
He's hoping for the...
Like, tell me something.
Yeah.
Is a guy like Howard Hessman?
Yeah.
You know, he was on a show in the 70s. He's had a few other roles here and there, but he's certainly not been, a movie star lately or anything.
No.
Is he living in a big mansion in Beverly Hills, or is he living in some, bachelor apartment in East Hollywood? Like, what's that guy's career? What kind of money would a guy like that have made?
Yeah, I hope he kept his money. I mean, he did have a couple of successes there. He had the WKRP, of course. I think he had a couple of roles in movies, like small films. He was in Spinal Tap. I know that. Oh, yes. Must have made $200 for being in that. But then he was also in Head of the Class. Do you remember that show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say Saved by the Bell, but it was
similar.
Head of the Class.
It's similar. But, so he must have kept some money from that. Yeah. Plus, he can do all his guest appearances as himself at things. That's how these people make money. That's how Sarah Palin makes money.
Signing,
appearing as themselves at places. You show up at, like, some IBM convention, and, you'll have, the president comes out, he makes a little speech, and then he says, and to greet you all, here's Howard Hessman. And Howard Hessman comes out, and he does, like, a Johnny Fever impression.
You mean like at Star Trek conventions?
Well, no, I don't know. They just seem to appear sometimes as themselves at things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if a guy like that is... Anyway.
No, he might be dead. We don't even know.
I would know. He's a Howard. I'm a Howard.
You keep track of all the Howards.
We would. I would have been notified.
You would have been notified. You're on the Howard death email.
There's a short list of Howards, famous Howards. Not that I'm one of them.
Well, who else is there? Howard Expert.
Howard Hughes.
Okay, yeah, he's good. He's definitely dead.
Howard Cunningham.
Who's Howard Cunningham?
That was Richie's dad on Happy Days.
Oh my God.
He's a fictional character.
That's a fictional character. I don't think we can really...
All right, so the point is there aren't many. So, folks,
Tons of Kevins.
I hope you will, before we get to our first letter of the day, just reminding you to check us out at HowardandKevin.com.
Kevin Bacon. There's the Kevin Bacon, Kevin Costner, Kevin Kline.
Lots of Kevins.
Kevin, I'm telling you.
HowardandKevin.com, though, is a place people should go. And they can check out our show there, and they can send us letters, which we then read and answer right here.
On this podcast.
So let's show them how it works, shall we?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so let's get to our first letter of the day. Famous Kevin.
Well, I'm not a famous Kevin. I'm just saying there are more famous Kevins than Howards, I think.
Yes.
Sorry.
Kevins win the battle.
I finally won something. Yay. You won everything else. Go ahead.
Yes.
Hit me.
Go put your Scrabble game away. Okay, here it is.
We should play Scrabble on this podcast once. That would be very exciting for the people at home.
Just to listen. I'm terrible at Scrabble, and I'd be like, they'd be waiting for like 14 minutes for me to finally spell like...
Is. Yeah. Oh, Howard.
I put an S on the end of some word you played.
Howards. Oh, I can't use proper names, can I? But Howard is University. Could I use that now?
No, that's still a proper name.
There's no Kevin University. I mean, you got me on that one.
Good point.
Let's just do half an hour of talking about our stupid names. Because this has been great so far. All right, hit me with a letter. Let's go.
Here's our first letter of the day.
All right.
Dear Howard and Kevin.
Yep.
And I'm sure he wrote this at HowardandKevin.com, by the way. So check it out. Okay. Dear Howard and Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm taking my new girlfriend to my parents' place for dinner so they can meet her. That's nice.
Okay.
But she's a vegetarian.
Uh-oh.
And I don't think my parents will get that.
We'll get that. Okay.
Like they won't. They're not. It sounds like his parents aren't really, savvy in the kind of worldly urban life of vegetarians,
of non-meat eaters.
He says
the PETA crowd.
I don't think my parents will get that. They eat meat and not much more.
Wow.
What should I do?
I know it's. I think I ate meat.
This is from Matt from Calgary, Alberta.
Is that? You sure it's not meat from Calgary, Alberta? It was Matt.
Matt
okay.
of the meat family.
Okay.
Meat eating family. So
wow.
So he grew up in a family where they eat a lot of meat.
Yep.
Calgary, Alberta, right? Alberta beef.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And his girlfriend's a vegetarian. He wants to bring her home for dinner.
Right. She's like a hippie.
And
she's in some sort of flowing robe. She's got one of those like bead, kind of things around her head. I'm picturing someone right out of Woodstock. And he looks like a cowboy. He looks like, like maybe if Robert Redford had been in a film. I don't know why I made him so
What do you
attractive.
mean if he had been in a film?
No, in like a Western film. Has he ever been in something
Butch
like
Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
No, I mean a Western film. That was like, I'm just kidding. Yes, yes, you're correct. I don't know why I picked Robert Redford, though. That's interesting. I didn't, I obviously went for a very attractive actor.
Yes, well, Matt.
To play him.
I'm sure Matt is very attractive.
Even like, on TV and movies, all the people have to be attractive or we're not going to watch. That's just how it works.
Well, it's
the same thing in my head. I pick all...
The movies in your head are all good-looking people.
Oh, yeah. Why am I picking ugly people? I'm not going to have, I don't know, somebody ugly in my thing. I don't want to say anyone because then I'd be indicating that person is... I want to be nice to all people.
So you never have Harvey Keitel in your dreams?
No. Oh! Howard just called Harvey Keitel ugly.
You know why? Because Harvey is close to Howard, and I'm annoyed that his parents were this close to naming him Howard.
Yeah, that's the one age name that's actually worse than yours.
His parents were probably even considered Howard.
No,
and they didn't. They went with Harvey instead.
They went with Harvey.
Anyway, so poor Matt in Calgary here has a dilemma because he's worried that his parents are going to force feed meat on his vegetarian girlfriend.
Some meat maybe rendered into the shape of broccoli or something.
Right. Or if he tells his parents ahead of time, listen, you can't serve meat to her. He's worried that they're going to prejudge her as being a flake.
Exactly.
Is
one of those PETA people.
Right. So what does he do?
What does he do? Are you asking me?
Well, his question is, what should I do? So yes, we are asking you.
Okay.
You and me, anyway.
Right.
I'm asking you.
I got nothing. What do you got?
Well,
because I find it very hard. I mean, like you always want to respect people and their beliefs and stuff. Because the vegetarian thing often comes from not just like it's not like I just don't like beef. I'll have some pork. You know what I mean? It's like it's a moral choice they've made because they don't want to see animals killed.
Well, sometimes it's about they're animal people.
Yep.
And sometimes it's about health issues, right? They feel that meat is not a healthy choice, and they would rather.
Have a carrot.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know what the case is.
I think
with
both
Matt's
are
girlfriend,
delicious.
but I don't think it really matters in this case, really. No. So what does he do? I think the first thing he's got to do is make sure she understands what she's getting herself into by coming over for dinner.
Right. He has to make her understand that they are meat eaters, and there will be probably some flesh of some sort being consumed at some point.
Yes, it sounds like there will be undoubtedly.
Yes,
there will be meat.
Yes,
and so he's got to make sure that she doesn't go off on any rants about eating things with faces. You ever heard that one when somebody says,
"Yeah,
I never eat anything with a face."
Yeah, and I've seen plenty of faces on like a cauliflower. So that's not
potatoes have eyes.
Well, exactly, exactly right, Howard.
So she can't. She's got to be respectful of them.
Yes.
But how does he make sure his parents understand that she's not, because probably it's in a way it's a generational thing too, right?
Yes.
Younger people are more understanding of those different sort of lifestyle choices.
Right. Yep.
Do you know any vegetarians?
I do. I know several, and and they range from the I just don't eat like red meat kind of vegetarian, which
is not really a vegetarian at all.
Well, not really. I mean, they eat fish and stuff.
Yeah, see, that's not a vegetarian. That's a person who's using the word vegetarian.
To
describe the fact that they don't eat red meat, which is wrong. That's simply not a vegetarian.
Well, I think they need another word for it.
Yeah,
they need
how about I don't eat red meat?
Yeah, but that's long. Vegetarian is much shorter. It's much simpler.
Anti-red meatian.
And you read median. That's good. That's fine.
But nevertheless, some...
Yeah, but
okay.
no, I do. And so it ranges from those people to all the way to... I have vegan friends as well who eat nothing like that's ever been, I think, close to an animal.
That's serious business.
Yeah, they're not going to eat plants that like a cow like walked by.
No.
You know, that's how...
I remember talking to this girl once who was... she said she wasn't quite a vegan, but she was working her way towards it. I guess it's a big job.
Well, you got to be so conscious
and
of
she told me that at this particular moment, she was making sure she was removing honey from her diet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because honey's, you know, bee...
Made by chickens and...
Bee vomit, I guess.
it's from bees. Oh, right.
You didn't know where honey came from?
No, I thought it was a chicken byproduct of some sort. I thought
it's from corn. But yeah, so she doesn't eat honey because it comes from bees. Like, I thought, that's an animal product.
Specific.
Wow, that is serious, man.
And that's not that's an animal product. The animal is quite happy to make. I mean, we haven't pulled that out of the animal.
No, nor have we killed the animal.
No, they're loving making that honey. You know, they don't seem to mind we take some.
As far as you know.
As far as I know. I mean, I haven't talked to any bees lately, but as far as I can tell, they seem fine with it.
Yeah. So, but still, you know,
but yeah, you're right. It is a product of an animal, and they just.
Strangely enough, that same woman was wearing a fur coat when I talked to her.
But it was human fur, so it was fine.
Yeah, she was fine with that.
I have to wonder if the vegetarians would eat a human if they could, because I mean, you know, especially a human who's decided to be eaten. You remember that story about the German guy who like found somebody on like Craigslist or something, and you know, the guy wanted to be eaten, so they got together and the guy ate the other guy. You didn't hear about that story? Look it up, everyone.
The guy wanted to be eaten.
Yeah, see, so this guy wanted to eat a human being. He advertises on some sort of you know, where you find somebody website. I don't know what that would be, but you know, or in Craigslist or something like that. And then somebody actually contacted him and said, "Yeah, I'd like to be eaten." You know,
like die. I'd like to die.
Yeah,
I'd like you to kill me and eat.
Yeah, and the guy did do it. Yeah, and he of course got arrested, and I'm sure he's in jail.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I know, but it happened. Look it up, everyone.
Wow.
I believe it was in Germany.
Now, what if the guy who got eaten was a vegetarian?
Oh, well, that brings up so many...
No, it really doesn't. Because, you know, vegetarians aren't going to eat cows just because cows only eat grass.
I think the vegetarian should be pro person eating because, you know, the worst thing for the planet, right, is generally considered to be us.
Too many people.
Yeah, there's too many us going around. We're the ones killing everything. So if there's less of us, then, you know, better for the environment, I think.
Wow.
So I fully advocate eating other human beings.
If you as a vegetarian eat
a
person who was a meat eater,
yes,
then you'll be removing one meat eater from the chain.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think that'll be the next trend in like in
I think that's PETA's next step is just murder. I think they're just going to go right to actually killing people.
That would be an ironic thing for them to choose to do.
It would be interesting.
They're so protective of animals that they actually kill humans to protect the animals.
Yeah. It's like the people that are anti-abortion but pro capital punishment. It's like, I want to kill people, but only at a certain time. I've decided later on.
It's all in the timing.
That's
anyway. True. Yeah, man. Or killing doctors and stuff. Anyway, that's not funny.
No, that's not funny at all.
So how does Matt let his parents in on the idea that she's a vegetarian without making them think that she is, you know, a bizarre weirdo that they prejudge and don't, you know, and already think is not suitable for their son?
I have no idea.
We have to have an idea. This is the whole point. We're supposed to answer the questions.
Yeah, but my answer could be I don't know. I mean, we've never had an I don't know on this show.
Kevin and Howard open your mail and don't know anything.
The point is, my point is this. Is that he doesn't know what's going to happen. He just has to go with it. When you bring like meat eaters and non-meat eaters together, you just got to let them go at it because there's nothing you can do about it. Because they're both in their camps already. The meat eaters are still going to eat meat, and there's very little you can say to the meat eaters. And the vegetarians, they're definitely going to keep not eating it.
So they got to be respectful of one another.
Exactly.
I think is the point.
I think we should all just get along somehow.
And I think it's all about communication. He needs to tell his parents ahead of time.
Yeah.
This young lady you're going to meet is a nice girl.
Yeah.
I like her very much.
Yeah.
She's good for me.
Yeah.
This is something about her you need to know.
She's a bit of a hippie.
I hope you'll respect that.
Yes.
And that maybe you could serve your own meal and eat the way you want to eat, but maybe you could also provide an alternative choice. You know,
I do feel bad.
His mother doesn't have to worry about cooking tofu or anything. It could be like pasta.
Yeah, but I do feel bad for the vegetarians when they go to a meal where it has not been organized as any kind of vegetarian meal. They end up eating one thing. Like there's one side dish they can have, which is like dry kind of just lame ass
beans or salad.
Salad. Yeah, the pasta salad maybe.
You know what I always think is funny is when
it's got mayonnaise.
Is the fact that vegetarians they don't want to eat meat. Okay, I get that.
Yeah,
that's their choice, and especially the ones who have made a decision for sort of ethical grounds. They don't they don't want to eat animal products. Yeah. Okay. By the way, I'm not a vegetarian. But what I find funny is when they choose to eat things which are vegetarian versions of meat products,
like the tofurkey.
Yeah, or like the veggie hot dog or something. It's like I refuse to eat meat, but I would like to pretend to eat it. I still want the pleasure of the flavor and the texture and all the things that make meat wonderful. I'm not gonna give up on it that much.
Well, I'm sure it's like when you go on the patch when you're trying to quit smoking. You're going to ease into the whole vegetarian thing. So you eat things that are similar to what you used to eat, but they're not made out of meat. I could see that. I think eventually they get to a point. Like my vegan friend, I think eats things that are very far removed from that whole world of meat now, because she eats very strange things. I don't know what she eats, frankly. It's weird. Whenever I see it, it's strange.
Quinoa.
Exactly. If I knew what that was.
It's like some grain or something.
All right, I'll Google it later.
Spelled Quinoa or something like that.
Wow. All right.
Yes. I saw it in the organic food store near where I live.
Right.
I thought it was pronounced quinoa, but apparently it's quinoa.
Oh, I've seen quinoa. Yeah.
It's really quinoa.
Oh, quinoa. Okay.
So it's a big vegetarian thing. So
wow.
So maybe Matt's mom will serve some of that.
Maybe, yeah. That's our recommendation.
On the side of his big, enormous. I envision his parents serving like a big steak.
Yeah.
And then like a side of prairie oysters.
What are those?
Those are like cow's testicles.
All
fried up.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they, when they're having like their big day of.
Oh God, I think it just became a vegetarian.
When they're having their big day of what do you call it?
Meat day?
No, like when the rancher guys have to castrate.
Oh.
All the.
That's not a day you want to be around for.
All the cows.
I see.
All the steers, I guess.
The steers. Oh yeah.
Or whatever they're called.
They get castrated?
I think so, yeah.
Aren't the steers there to impregnate the lady cows?
I think they're the bulls. I think a steer is a anyway, look it up. Wikipedia. Anyway, they got a whole bunch of balls sitting around, a whole big bucket of bull balls.
I don't want to hear about the balls.
And apparently they have a big party. Drink some beer, eat some balls. So I picture that on the plate.
Wow.
This poor vegetarian girl sitting there and they're serving a plate full of balls.
You know what? If someone doesn't want to eat a bowl of balls, that I can understand. You know what I mean? Have a bit of steak.
Freak! Stupid vegetarian weirdo hippie.
I had an entire glass of yak semen. She didn't want to eat it. It's ridiculous.
Put it on your cereal.
Oh.
Anyway, all right. Well, Matt, our advice is communicate. Talk to your mom and dad first. Talk to your girlfriend first. Let them all know what they're getting themselves into.
All right. I think we got the.
I hope they.
Put a long tail on that.
I hope it goes well.
Yeah. All right. Good. Kevin Eubanks. Kevin Eubanks, the band leader of the Tonight Show. I think you'll remember as well. Another famous Kevin.
Yes, that's true. Howard. I don't know. All right.
I can't think of any others.
Famous Howards for 1,000, Alex. All right, hit me with a letter.
Oh, Howard Trebek. Don't forget him. Okay, I got a letter here. This is from Samantha in Port Perry, Ontario.
Port Perry, Ontario.
Yeah, it's lovely out there.
Yeah,
nice.
Wait,
no, it's not.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. It's on.
I've actually never been to Port Perry.
It's a port, right?
It is
a Port Perry, so it must be on a lake. And
well, yeah,
isn't it on Lake Scugog?
It's Lake Scugog. I thought it was on. You know what? I don't know. We're ill-informed about Port Perry.
I think it's on Lake Scugog.
Okay.
I'm staking my reputation on it.
This entire show is about like a lot of stuff we don't know where it is, what it is. The whole show is about us looking stuff up later.
All right.
Okay, her question, Samantha from Portbury. Her question is, exercising sucks the bag. Am I right? Which is, short and to the point there. That's so. I mean, I would have to agree.
Okay, so
with that.
we're ignoring her sucks the bag, right? It has nothing to do with that. That's just an expression, right?
That's an expression. Okay. Yeah.
It has nothing to do with exercising and anything.
Oh no, it has nothing to do with that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it has its.
I guess it depends on the person. I mean, I'm the kind of person who does not enjoy exercising, as and the exercise I'm talking about is like going to the gym, or like you're running on a treadmill for half an hour, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is boring. Like fun exercise. You're going to play softball with your friends. That's good.
Yeah. No, I see. You're right.
Like
football, when it's just sort of recreational activity is more fun. I must say that I have tried over the last few years to keep in shape a little.
Yes.
I run a bit. What I find is the worst thing about it is not so much the actual activity that I mind.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the days I do get around to doing it, I feel great about myself. I'm like, all right, look at me. I am a machine. Yeah, and you can't stop me.
Right.
I'm hard as a rock over here. What I
from
do...
the exercise, not from anything else. I don't want to hear about you being hard as a rock, actually. Don't slap me.
That was my arm.
Oh, okay.
My bicep. But what I do find hard is finding the time. That's to me what sucks the bag. Squeezing it in.
Really?
Finding, getting around to it and finding the time in my busy life to take, to take an hour in the day.
So in a way, we both have the problem of getting around to it. Yours is you don't have the time. Me, I just can't be bothered to get around to it.
So you see, because it's like, okay, so let's say you need a half an hour to kind of get up and get yourself dressed and shake the cobwebs off and have a pee and drink some water.
Like after my afternoon nap, is that what you're saying?
And then so there's a half an hour
in the morning,
and then you go out, let's say for a run. So let's say you run for half an hour, all right. Then you come back and you gotta cool down and you gotta
call the ambulance because you're having
get yourself changed and everything. Yeah. Then you probably want to have a shower, right?
Yeah.
So for me that's another 40 minutes. And then you gotta eat something, right? You can't exercise and then not eat all day. So it's like a 2-hour project.
It really is.
That's the hard part that I find. Like how the heck am I? So what am I supposed to get up at 5 a.m. every day? Like,
well, I think so. I think that's what the crazy health nuts do.
Yeah.
I mean, they find the time, Howard. That's the thing. They find the time.
They make the time, Kevin.
Oh,
They don't just find it. They make it.
They make it. You're right.
You could walk down the street from here to Skagway, Alaska, and not find a nickel, but you could make a nickel if you, do something. Is that an expression?
Are you getting paid by the tourist board of Skagway, Alaska? I'm just wondering. That's the second time it's come up today.
Anyway, so but I like it's important. Exercise.
Well, it is. I mean, like I probably will die within a couple of years because I haven't been exercising.
Then it'll just be Howard opens your mail.
Yeah. Yeah, people should know that I'm a larger human being, and Howard is more on the thin side of things. That isn't any choice we made. It's just if you're going to form a comedy duo, you have to have that dynamic. That's just how it works.
See Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, see Laurel and Hardy. So Howard used to have a thin partner, but he got rejected by the comedy bureau.
I ate him.
You ate him? Yeah. Back when you lived in Germany.
Yeah, we got rejected by the comedy bureau.
Exactly. This dynamic is not working.
But I must say I am thin, but I'm thin by luck, I think.
You think so? Like you think it's more your genes?
Yeah.
I have seen you eat. You eat as much as I do, but you don't seem to be...
I just am lucky. And sometimes that's a curse in the sense that, I don't have to worry about my weight. I'm lucky. I know a lot of people do, and I know it's difficult. But but because I don't have to worry about it for just whatever fluky reason, I probably don't eat as well as I should.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Because I don't really have to...
So you may also die in 2 years.
I
But
might.
because of...
And I'll be the one that everyone say, he looked like he was in such a good shape!
Yeah. Because I eat plenty of salads and broccoli. It's just that's usually piled on, a bunch of disgusting fried foods.
And cheese whiz sauce.
Yeah, cheese whiz sauce, exactly. Which is delicious on broccoli. You really got to try that.
So, anyway, sometimes... the things in life that are not as fun or as delicious that isn't that always lousy? Like the things that are delicious, the fatty foods and the sweet foods are not good for you.
Yep.
Why does it have to be that way?
Because life is cruel, Howard.
Yeah. Why does the thing why does the exercise, the hard thing, have to be the thing that's good for you? Why can't
sitting on the couch,
drinking beer and lying around on the couch watching, Jerry Springer all day long? Why can't that be the thing that's good for you?
The Americans would be the healthiest people in the world if that was the way, but it's just not. It's not true.
I don't get it, man.
I know what you mean.
Well, anyway, folks, find the time. Make the time.
All right.
Get yourselves in shape.
All right. That's good advice for us all.
Yes, isn't it? And
unless you're one of those crazy, because some people go too far and they become those crazy exercise addicts.
Yeah, you don't need that.
And then they're running themselves to death.
Everything in moderation.
Exactly.
Right?
That's yes.
Not too much Jerry Springer, not too much beer, not too much fried food, and not too much exercise either.
Is this 1995? Is Jerry Springer still on the air?
Tell Samantha in Port Perry, Ontario, though, who probably wrote that letter while on the treadmill. Tell her to keep it up. She's doing a good job.
All right, way to go, Sam.
We're behind her.
Like a trainer.
Watching her go, watching her run away from us, sprinting away.
If she knows what's good for her,
as we're panting.
This has gotten into a strange place there. I don't know why we got behind her.
All right, let's squeeze another letter in here, shall we?
Okay.
Dear Howard and Kevin.
Yep.
Last weekend I went to a big amusement park with some friends.
Okay.
And I noticed that every time I rode a roller coaster, I get a tingly feeling in my genital area.
Ooh, wow.
I liked it.
Does
this mean I'm gay?
What is the gender of
Omar of Seattle, Washington.
Omar. So I'm going to assume that's a man.
That's a man, I'm sure, yes.
And
Omar.
he gets a tingly sensation in his genital area
when he rides roller coasters.
When riding a roller coaster.
And he's there with friends, and he's wondering, does this mean I'm gay?
Wow, does this mean I'm gay?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go right out on the limb and say no.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure there's anything inherently gay about riding a roller coaster.
Now, let's also be clear. You might be gay.
Well, that's true.
But
yes,
this is
unrelated.
This is
not a sign. Yeah, this is not a sign of that.
You know what I think it is? He's gay for roller coasters. I don't think he's a homosexual. I think he's a coastersexual.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's the coasters that are turning him on.
Well, that might be it.
He might look at an attractive woman and say, eh. He might look at a nice young man and say, eh.
Yeah.
But the roller coaster is giving him a tingly feeling.
The cyclone at Six Flags.
He's getting a boner on the on the downhill there.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever felt anything in my groin when I'm far more concerned about dying when I'm on the roller coaster than I am about what's going on with my crotch.
I kind of get the tingly feeling more in my tummy.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah,
but I can see how it would kind of go down a little.
I guess if he's got a lower...
maybe he's a very virile
his
young
stomach
man.
is resting on his nads. But I don't think...
I think, there's nothing wrong with being gay. You are who you are. But this is not a sign one way or the other.
No.
And I think you should go enjoy your...
What?
I just had an idea. Imagine if he masturbated on the roller
coaster. Oh, God. Why? What?
But, the thrill of the going on the roller coaster. Wow! And then, kablam!
Oh, my God. What made you think of that?
Well, what do you mean what made me think of it? Is he talking about tinglies?
Yeah, but I don't know. If I wouldn't have made that leap. That's a little...
I'm just saying, that could be, the next big, sex craze.
You thought it was gross when you got vomit on you on the roller coaster. The guy in front of you was...
instead of autoerotic asphyxiation, it's
roller coasters?
It's roller coasters now.
David Carradine found dead on roller coasters. Oh, that's a shame.
Or just found, exhausted.
The world would be a better place if David Carradine was still around and just exhausted.
So go to the amusement park. Enjoy your time with your friends, men and women alike.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Whatever, I'm sure we all get all kinds of sensations when we're on a roller coaster. It's an exciting experience.
It is.
And if you feel it in your crotch, then more power to you.
Just keep your pants done up.
Exactly. I think we've learned a lot in this episode.
Haven't we?
Yeah. We learned there's a lot more Kevins than Howards. We learned that...
famous.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'll do that research as well. I think there generally would be more Kevins. And we learned we should have everything in moderation.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
And we learned about communication.
Communication
Parents,
is important.
Girlfriends,
yes.
All that kind of thing.
Yes, we all need to get along.
And
eaters and
we learned that sometimes sometimes
you get a boner.
Sometimes the dueling dragons or whatever it's called at Six Flags or something.
Yeah,
can give you a boner.
Exactly.
So and what's wrong with that? Just shows you're a healthy young man. He's probably been exercising.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure.
He probably loves exercising. Okay, folks. This has been Howard and Kevin Open Your Mail. So thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit us at HowardandKevin.com.
Oh, yeah.
Go there and you'll find the archive of all of our other episodes. You can read the show notes that we have for each episode. And you might even find a few other fun surprises.
There are fun surprises on and they're not scary surprises either.
No,
they're not like the kind of surprise where it's like, oh, I just found a dead cat in my room. Because that's not a fun
Was
surprise.
that an aside? Did that actually just happen, or were you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Or one of those dumb. You ever get one of those emails where
especially if you don't own a cat, that would be a surprise.
Did you ever get one of those dumb emails where it's like, stare at this spot and something, and then it's like, boo, a guy jumps out at you.
Yeah. That's stupid. Not a good surprise.
Yeah. So we don't have that.
No, we don't have that.
No, we have fun.
All our surprises are fun.
Pleasant, fun surprises.
And don't forget, everyone, on HowardandPorter.com.
On what?
HowardandPorter.com. That was your old partner. That was Porter Smith, your ex-partner. I forgot about him. No, on HowardandKevin.com, you too can send us a letter, which we might just read and answer on
Howard and Kevin opened your mail.